What is up, guys? Jake from One Hive here with the next Elite 8 video. These guys are just back fresh off of the scrimmage that they had. So just one war to look at, but they have some really nice attacks in that war. And obviously here had a pretty good war as far as most of theirs go. Pretty close, closer than most anyways, but came out on top. So good job to everybody at Genesis. Let's get right to the attacks here. Let's see. We're going to look at Bella taking on 18. Excuse me. Hadn't watched one in a while, so we're going to watch a dragon attack, Dragoon more specifically. This guy, pretty fully maxed out base, drops a lightning, or excuse me, 3 lightning on the opposite side, and then just creates her funnel right here on the sort of parallel with the, or coming straight parallel from a dragon line towards the 2 air defense that are remaining. You can see that she also brought the poison spell there. And as these CC troops come out, going to queue it up, drop it right there to where it's going to grab that witch and those wizards. I think the dragon actually snagged those wizards before the poison spell took effect, but then just goes ahead in with the balloons on the bottom air defense. It's going to go straight in, start taking out defensive buildings, but the dragons beat them to it. Just a really good dragon funnel, so they're moving straight across the base, then just uses the king sort of as a tank on the backside. Everything's going to start taking out, pretty much over at this point. When all the air defense are gone, she's still got her balloons up. I mean, that's great. They're still doing, straight defense damage, taking out several on their own, and the dragons are just working their way through. Even at Town Hall 8, the poison seems to be the go-to. Obviously, they don't have the option of a haste spell, but pretty much everyone's bringing poison. Obviously, Earthquake, there's just not a lot of use for it, especially not in a 3-star attack. So everyone's using poison and just doing sort of what we're doing at Town Hall 9, dropping it on those CC troops as a, some people have even seen, you're going to see in this video, dragging them, even pulling, and then using that just to help out, because CC kills at Town Hall 8 are not like at Town Hall 9. You don't have as much troop space. Every one of those wizards you have to bring, or witches in the CC, is sort of at a premium, so that's sort of allowing them to do easier CC kills, just, do it with a few less troops than they would have had to. So it's working pretty well for them there. We'll start to fast forward here, because all the defenses are dead. Just a few dragons left, but that's going to be enough to get the cleanup and the 3-star for Bella. Let's see. So we're going to see several hog attacks and show you what I'm talking about there, about how they're doing that. The first one, probably my favorite one that I saw in this war, is on a bender, taking out number 23. And this is, sort of that anti-3-star spread base. And Anna Bender's doing it just like I saw a bunch in the scrimmage. 2 golems, creating that funnel with the wizards, sending the king, and then obviously the CC troops in. Right there, wall breakers, everything in. And wall breakers are key for this. You've got to get good penetration. The P.E.K.K.A. and the CC, that Max P.E.K.K.A. does a lot of work at Town Hall 8, but you've got to get everything into that core. You see, it has more wall breakers, has to break open a few more compartments, but then right there with that rage and those last few wall breakers, gets all the way into the core. You just got to sort of load up on them and bring them. It's worth it. You're going to see how much of this base that kill squad takes out. Only 16 hogs, but that's plenty because he's getting such good penetration. The golems are doing a tremendous amount of tanking. You see those wizards just standing there, but they're barely getting hit. And then right here on the backside, Hogs coming in and just going to sort of, mini surgical the backside of this base. Doesn't want to put them all down in the same spot because there is a lot of trap possibilities there. Dropping a heal spell for him there just to keep him going. And then the last few on that cannon. He's got 1 bomb going off there. He's already triggered 1 other one, so I think there's only 1 bomb left. But he's got a heal spell. He's going to put it right there in that obvious spot. Let those hogs get those last few defenses. They got to run down and get that cannon, but besides that, no big deal. Lots of hogs left. You got a few wizards there and just a bunch of hogs, but hogs are a great cleanup troop, so he's going to have plenty of time to get this taken care of, especially with those wizards on the opposite side working on those high HP storages. So very nice attack, Bender. Just absolutely crushed it. All right, as those clean up, let's see here. We're going to move on to Ryan, taking on number 26 here. Where we at, Ryan? Boom, right there. All right, this I really liked. A reverse holo. Did it, a good base selection for it. One of the things the air defenses are core. They're not like way to one side. They're sort of central, but they're all cored. And what I liked about it was look how he's got all of his cannons on the bottom. I mean, there's no coverage for air defense down there. And that's one thing I love about this attack, that he chose to do it like this with those back end loons. But it's also my one complaint about this attack is because he was a little bit late. I mean, I see this a lot on reverse holos, those balloons being too late, because the only threat really, I mean, a couple of Archer towers, a couple of Teslas, no big deal for 12 balloons. Those cannons can't do anything to them. So I see this a lot. You just do a 3-finger drop up top, and then right here, in my opinion, right now is the time to send those balloons in. They're slow travel. The air defense aren't even in range. I mean, they can't even get to them down there with those cannons. So I would have already sent those balloons and let them start doing the work. But he comes in right here, just starts spreading them out on these defenses. And again, perfect selection for it, because they are just going to wreck that bottom half. Those cannons are just sitting ducks. They can just drop it right on them. And as the Hogs are getting in range, the cannons are going down. So very, very nice attack. Good base selection for the army composition that he brought. And good deployment. Everything was great, except for, I still say, bring those loons earlier on your reverse holo, guys. There's, a lot of some of these bases could have been traditional holoed on a section like that. So if your Hogs are deployed and it's safe, get the loons down, let them start doing the work. They're just going to protect your Hogs. You're going to have that many for cleanup, that many more for cleanup. All right, moving right along. Let's look at, is that Rayville? Rayville? Taking on 27. Very, very nice attack. Coming in, just getting that's what I'm talking about here. They're still sort of luring, even though they've got the poison spell, which I think from what I've seen this war, it works. Right here, it brings this out. Obviously, everything's going to, and got a skeleton trap with it as well. Everything's going to go down to this poison except for that dragon. You still got to deal with the dragon, but, it just makes the kill easier. The dragon is going to take some damage from it. And the wizards are just going to lock onto it. There's nothing else to distract them. Nothing else taking out his CC troops. Or excuse me, his kill squad. So I like it. It takes a little bit more time, but it is effective, obviously. Then just comes in, just going to start hogging this base. A lot of bomb possible spots inside the rings inside this base, but does a really good job just sending a few at a time, keeping those Hogs alive right there, drops that first heal, and then just reinforcing these Hogs sort of in a clockwise motion, more or less, and just let them take the base apart. You got some wizards in the bag for cleanup. You can go ahead and deploy those on the backside here, because all the defenses are pretty much taken care of and or being tanked by the Hogs there. So could go ahead and do that. We'll start to fast forward just because this is just, a real nice, methodical, surgical attack. Again, right there, could definitely, if I start putting those wizards on the backside there, would have been a little quicker on cleanup. I like the king being used for a tank on the offside. I love that. As the Hogs are coming around, your last few, you're down to maybe your last heal or all your heals are used, drop that king down on the backside on your surgical and let it soak up some of that point defense. It's going to save you a few Hogs. So very nice attack to Rayville. All right, as that gets cleaned up, let's look at one more. We started with a Dragoon, so let's end with one too. I like this one as well. Smog taking on 34. I like this one because I like what he did with the Hogs. This is one that there's not a good angle to come at two different air defenses like we saw in the first one, where you could just, line your dragons up and come at them, sort of on the same side. This one's a real spread on the air defense. So it takes out the top one with the lightning, then just creates a nice funnel on this right side air defense. And then for the last one, you see he's got those Hogs in the bag. So that's going to work perfectly. And he does something else, again, that I like with it. But we'll focus on these dragon funnel he's creating here, letting those outside buildings go down, and then just sort of backfilling with the dragons that he's got. CC troops come out. Again, oops, sorry about that, guys. Again, drops the poison spell right there. It's going to take out the minions that came out with it, and then soften up that dragon for his dragons as well. Right here, you see how great the funnel was created. Everything's coming through just as a perfect line through there. And then right here, he drops this king down. That's going to start tanking for everything. Drops his lower level Hogs to let them get out in front and really tank. And then drops the CC max Hogs. And look how much he got for these Hogs. I mean, what was that? 1, 2, 3, 4. It says 5 defenses about to go down right there, I think. 5, 6 defenses for those Hogs. That's pretty big. Well worth it for sure. We'll start to fast forward because just a few defenses that can even touch his dragons left. no chance of stopping him. So the king's going over, uses the king's ability. He finally gets taken out. But right here, you're going to see the last few dragons get over to where they can reach that archer tower, reach that Tesla, and get everything cleaned up. So beautiful attack to Smog, and good job to everybody at Genesis. I think they had a really good time in the scrimmage as well, and it was a lot of good attacks. I probably should have showed more Town Hall 8 attacks on that war, because there was some really, really nice ones. They were very similar, but they were really nice. So there you go. Elite Eights. Hope you guys liked it. Until next time, Jake from One Hive reminding you guys to suck less.